Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Jedera. I'm Gerwin, and it's been a few days since the last video that I did, and we have been busy in here. We've moved the kitchen to, we got that section of the floor done, and then moved the kitchen sink over to there and the kitchen bench that was here over to there. Gavin did most of it, actually. I looked on in wonder. Actually, that's not true. I was off doing the goats usually most of the time. So we moved that over there so that he could then oil this part, and you can see the obvious difference between where it's been oiled and where it hasn't been oiled. And it feels really quite nice underfoot. Smells not great, but there's no mold on that, or fungus or whatever it was on that joint. I haven't noticed anywhere else, and it is supposed to be anti-mold, not necessarily anti-fungal. So nothing over here either, unless that's it. Oh, it might be. Anyway, that's, I'll have to keep an eye on that corner. But yeah, so I'm going to have to keep things out of this corner. Put some of the kids' educational posters up. But we're still in a bit of a mess. And we've got more Santa stockings. The boys were fighting over the red ones, so now we've got two green ones and different. So Jonathan's picked the Santa Claus one and Matthew's got the koala one. Anyway. See, I like the fact that I can put posters up on the walls really easily with the magnets. What else? Everything else is going okay. The next step is to actually get the bedrooms sorted out and this walkway area here. I'm hoping to do some of that this morning because the smell is quite strong. Yeah, the smell is quite strong, so I prefer to get it done first thing in the morning, because otherwise Gavin's doing it when he gets home, which means it's very close to it. It's bedtime, which means the smell stays in here. And because we've got threat of rain constantly, I'm having to shut the windows at night in case it rains, and I don't wake up, which is a little bit awkward to open some of these windows at the moment because there's stuff in front of them, but I can always open them from the outside, so it's not tragic. Yeah, so I want to set a fan up at that window so that it's sucking all the yucky smells out. And I've also got a container of bicarb soda here and a container full of cut up onions here. Plus I got all my plants around the place as well. So, although the plants are mostly in the bedrooms, I'm going to pop that over here on this totally not flat surface. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so that's our current progress. Hopefully I get a little bit more done. I have gotten the plastic off that wall. I didn't get the plastic off that corner. I had trouble getting that off. But I've gotten all the stuff off the ceiling. I did discover that this section didn't have it on when they painted it, so I'm going to have to try and clean that somehow. But other than that, most of the plastic is off the walls. And as you can tell, I've got quite a nasty cough. But that could just be the pollens in the air as well. We did actually, and a bit of an update on the mold situation in the house. We got a report back from the hygienist who came in and did air quality sample testing and all that sort of stuff in the house. And the mold spores inside the house are the same as the mold spores outside the house. So there's no greater health risk in the house than there is out of the house. So I don't have, and the molds that are in there are not apparently dangerous. So I don't know whether it's the dust that's setting off my lungs or what it is. But it's a bit of a challenge. But yes, so excited to have my posters out. So I can now do some stuff with the boys, and those onions nearly fell in. Let's put them somewhere else. We'll pop them up there. That's a little bit more stable. Not that it's really all that stable. Anyway. So yeah, and we had the hydrologists come through to try and check what's going on with the wet patch in the house. And they were told to come and check stormwater drains. We don't have stormwater drains. All our stormwater goes straight into the tank. And what we have noticed is with all the rain, the water is travelling up these cracks. And the other problem we've noticed is a significant discoloration in some of the concrete, which tends to indicate to me that that's wet. And that's not a good thing. A good thing that's happening is I got new fish coming for the aquaponics today. See, and this concrete out here is also appearing wet, which is not what it was doing before. And this is okay, so we got everything moved out into the lounge room area, and I've gotten this part of the floor done, and this side I've got one coat on. So once that coat's dried, I'll put a second coat on, then I'll move the bed and do that side. Oh, Jack, there's my water bottles. They shouldn't be there. And in the boys' room, I've moved the bed over to here, and I've done that side and here, and I've also done behind that door as well. So yeah, now I've got the fans blowing on it to hopefully help it dry a bit more, and I'm about to do this section up to the door, and then I will go out. So yes, and I'll be back with more updates. Okay, so I have now got 2 coats down, except for under the beds, in the bedrooms and in this little front walkway area. The smell is very strong. Got some extra plants. I've got a fan on over there and a fan on over there, and I've got a big fan there blowing the smelly air out. Our big problem at the moment is the weather, so I have to keep shutting all the windows, which is quite painful. I'm hoping this is going to dry, and I might have been a little bit more heavy-handed than Gavin was, so it might take a little bit longer to dry, but it's still only 1:30, so we can assess later this afternoon as to whether or not we're going to be able to sleep in here or not. But yes, that's the progress so far. And the fish have not arrived yet. Just a little bit of rain. I just got the windows shut just in the nick of time. Just a little bit of rain. So apparently applying the oil to the floor is very exciting, and Jonathan was desperately wanting to help. So he did help a little bit in his room. We did get our rooms out. We were able to sleep in our rooms last night. So now we're just doing the final little sections off where the beds were yesterday. So Jonathan's doing this section, and I did that section already this morning. So we're going to have to do a second coat. It's coming up really nicely. Really, really pleased with how it's working. We've got cords and cables everywhere. But yes, we're making progress. Time to start working on the roof. Okay, so it's been about 3 weeks since the last update. So I'll go around and show you what we've been doing and how things have been going. I have gotten all of the floors have now had their 2 coats of the linseed oil, and the smell in here is still horrible. I've been putting onions and bicarb soda. I've got more baking powder, bicarb soda I should say. I've got plants. I've got mother-in-law's tongues. I've got the peace lilies. They're all over the place. The disaster area of the boys' room. They've got plants in here too. Oh, looks like that one's needing some water. I have to give that one some water. So we did get all of the linseed oil down. And I haven't noticed any more of the mold forming, which is fantastic. And Gavin's been going around and putting a caulking silicone in a lot of the gaps around the place, around the floor area. We've got curtains up nicely, so as you can see, it makes a huge difference to the rooms when the curtains are shut. So I'll shut this, stop all that hot air from coming in. I should have shut that earlier today. So Gavin and one of our neighbours is working on the roof at the moment. We've got the nativity scene happening. So yes, we're having progress, and Jonathan is just loving being in here. So they've got the curtains on their room, and that helps to keep the heat out. It still gets very hot in here. I've got that fan sucking air in from outside, and I've got that fan blowing air out just to try and get all this smell from the linseed oil out of the container house. It really makes it quite bad, and we're having to have the front door open. Oh yes, that's Jonathan's little nativity scene.
Calendar.
Yes, it's your nativity calendar. And you're not up to date. We should be on the 19th.
Yeah.
So you can do the 15th and the 16th and the 19th. And pop your little Velcro men up.
Eesh. I have to do these.
Yeah, do those two and do that one.
The wise man.
So yes, Christmas is a-coming. So we got some stockings up. So we're getting posters up for Jonathan doing schoolwork, and got a map of the world and a map of Australia. So yes, lots have been happening, but we have a lot more space in here, as you can tell. Now that Gavin's put the kitchen bench over there, that's actually where I want it. The problem is the plumbing is all over here. So really the kitchen sink is supposed to be over there. Hang on.